Andy Manus, Chad Gatlin, welcome you to Brighton, Tennessee, here on this Friday evening. The Munford Cougars in town tonight here on Tubetown to take on the Brighton Cardinals in some high school action. Chad, great night for football. A little muggy out here, but the rain is holding off. Starting to get a little overcast, but still going to be a good night for some football. The last weekend of summer.
Yeah, September 20th, and fans in Tennessee are storming Highway 51 instead of Area 51 to see the Cardinals take on the Cougars tonight in this rivalry matchup. Both teams have already played the other county rival, Covington. Both teams have lost to Covington by a large margin.
Brighton has, I believe, won the toss. They are out there to receive tonight's opening kickoff. Cardinals 1-3 on the year. The Cougars 2-2. Both teams dropping a game last week. Brighton losing to Covington, as Chad mentioned, and then Munford dropping a heartbreaker to Southwind by 35-34. Opening kickoff taken to the 25-yard line, and the return man driven down by the Cardinals.
And that was number 23 on the Cardinals with the return there, Wesley Irvin. He plays at running back sometimes, getting about 5 yards right there.
So the Cardinals will come out on offense underneath senior quarterback Nick Johnson. Johnson takes the snap, hands it off. Tailback runs to the right. C.J. Bonner on the carry.
And gets absolutely nothing there.
Joe Williamson actually on the carry there. And the 2 was a 7. Yeah, good stop by the Cougar defense there on 1st and 10. 2nd and 9 now coming up. Cardinals underneath first-year head coach Mike David. Still trying to get that offense rolling.
Nick Johnson, second-year starter, but started quite a bit 2 years ago when they went to the state semifinals.
Here's a breakaway run at the 35-yard line. Now at midfield, the far side 30, 25-20, 10-5, touchdown Brighton Cardinals. No laundry out on the field. And that is Braxton Sharp.
Yards, Braxton Sharp.
Second play of the game. He just breaks off to the left side, and there was nobody out in front of him. Cardinals had everybody fooled, I think, with a misdirection maybe.
And that was just crazy how it opened up, and he just turned the jets on and was able to get it past everybody, outran the secondary, and 74 yards for the score. And now it looks like Brighton will line up Nick Johnson and try for a 2-point conversion here. They bring Irvin Wesley into the game late. Wesley Irvin, excuse me.
Ethan Starnes on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up and through the uprights. 1 minute gone by here in the first quarter, and we've got a score on the board. 7-0. Brighton leading Munford here on Tubetown.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Andy Manus, Chad Gatlin back here with you in Brighton, where the Cardinals already on the board.
And that was a quick strike from the Cardinals, and you know first-year coach David loves to see that. He wants to get out on the board. This team has had some trouble this year, and he certainly wants to score quickly first and get out to a good start against this hometown rival. Neither one of these teams wants to be 0-2 in the county.
And, of course, the Cougars winning last year's matchup 27-21. Kickoff taken inside the 10-yard line. Now out to the 20 and tackled in the middle of the hash marks. His return man, Lemarius Payne.
Payne not able to find much room there, but now we'll see Braxton O'Neal again. We've already seen him in 2 games this year with fair performances. Some bad throws have bit him in some of these games, but he also has been able to keep his composure and march the team down the field and help out in times of need. So just learning the position, I guess.
Well, we know they like to run the ball also. As we see here on 1st and 10, they hand it off to Avik White. White goes nowhere.
No gain on the play.
2nd and 10 coming up.
On the stop for the Cardinals. 2nd down, 10.
We saw Avik White do some good things against Millington. He wants to see if he can repeat that kind of performance here tonight.
Michael Dowell goes in motion. Dowell gets the handoff. Trying to find the edge. Nearly escaped one defender. Still on his feet. Finally, they blow the play dead. And he will pick up 2 yards on 2nd down. So 3rd and 8 now coming up. Almost found the gap here, but ran right into Darian Lewis from Brighton.
On the tackle. Along with number 15, Lewis.
They're going to say it is 3rd and, well, they got 3rd and 5 up on the scoreboard. That's certainly
Incorrect.
more like
It's
3rd and 7 right now.
Right.
Got to get it down to the 32-yard line.
Receiver up top. Watch him.
They hand it off. Nope, it's O'Neal on the keeper. Faked it to White. He's out to the 35-yard line. They'll tackle him at the 38. So a
Great
1st down
job.
run.
Great job on the keeper there by O'Neal. A 12-yard sprint. He just runs off tackle and takes off. Makes the first man miss, and that's all you got to do to get the 1st down.
Yeah, great job on the read option there by O'Neal. White once again in the backfield. 2 wide receivers. Dowell goes in motion. Now he'll head back to the line of scrimmage. Just want to check and see what kind of coverage Cardinals are running here. Play clock now under 10 seconds. Dowell goes in motion again. The handoff to White. White hit at the line of scrimmage, but he'll fall forward for a gain of about 2. 2nd and 7. I think they're going to mark it a gain of 3, so 2nd and 7 coming up.
Wilson on the tackle. Gain of 3.
Avik White, kind of the workhorse back for this Munford team. They're going to give him the majority of the carries, although they will be giving some carries to Travion Hawkins, the 6', 170-pound junior. But you'll also see him line up at receiver and in the slot. He's a dangerous player when he gets the ball in space.
Payne goes in motion. There's the option. O'Neal on the keeper. Takes a hit and is dropped at the 44-yard line.
O'Neal keeps the ball.
Not as much room.
43.
Not as much room on that option play, but still the right call to keep it. He's making the right read so far, and that was something we saw him have problems with against that Covington defense in the first year of the game, is being able to read that defensive end and know whether to keep the ball or not. It looks like he is improved on that tremendously since that game.
We'll just see if the running lanes open up for him here, especially on 3rd and 4. There's the option. Gave it to White that time on 3rd and 4, and I believe he got enough yards to move the sticks for a 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 48-yard line of the Cougars.
Yeah, he absolutely just powering it through was able to kind of will his way to the 1st down on that one.
48.
And another good job by O'Neal on the option, making the correct read. Tristan Thomas lined up at wide receiver at the top of your screen. Looking that way. Nope. O'Neal goes over the middle. Intercepted at the 35-yard line. What a great catch there by Darian Lewis. Called his name a moment ago for closing off the edge on a run play, but that time he goes up for the pick. But hold on just a minute. Flag is down back here at the 41-yard line. We'll see what this is. And if it will go against the Cardinals, it will go against the Cardinals. It's roughing the passer. So 1st and 10 coming up for the Cougars. That is a tough break there for the Cardinals. You get a great play on defense.
Absolutely. Take that one off the board. And, I mean, that was really just an athletic play there to jump up and grab the ball by Akarius Hodgson. And, oh, I'm sorry, that's not who it was. It was Darren Lewis.
2 wide receivers again for O'Neal. White again in the backfield. White gets the handoff.
That's a nice carry from White.
It was. Made a little cut. Able to pick up a couple extra yards after that first move. Watch him hit the gap there.
And just a good 6-yard carry.
Being close to 5 for the Cougars, 2nd down.
It'll be 2nd and 5. They've got it marked. All spotted at the 32-yard line. Under 6:30 left to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 the score. Brighton leading. There's another handoff to White. This time he is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage, driven backwards, and that is big Jacob Rodriguez on the tackle there. Watch 41 get in here and drive White down. Got a little help in there from Dima Barker as well from the Cardinals defense.
And they have tightened up on the Cardinals defensive line when they needed to. Watch for the pass here at 3rd and about medium range.
Yeah, again, they flash Lamarius Payne to the backfield. Kalen Boyd lined up on the other side.
Soft coverage on the outside.
There's the option. There's the pitch out to Boyd. Boyd makes a cut, but he's hit at the 30-yard line. Had to make it down to about the 26. It'll be a 4th and short coming up. We'll say about a 4th and 2.
A 4th down.
That's a long 2, though.
Yeah, that's a little bit longer than 2. I guess that's more like 4th and 3. We got it marked at 4th and 4 on the scoreboard. Might as well call it that. A little difficult to tell where the chains are positioned here, but here's the option keeper from O'Neal, and he's going to move the chains for a 1st down for the Cougars. Nice little run there on 4th down. And again, Chad, you talked about it, just showing a little bit of maturity, figuring out when to hold on to the ball, when to let it go.
That's true, although on that particular play, it was a triple option, so the fullback had the first option, and it may have done better if he'd have handed it to the fullback because no one picked him up. Now, that may also be because he didn't have the ball, and they realized it fast enough.
Time a run up the middle with, I believe, White getting the carry once
Run
again.
up the middle for the Cougars.
And it was.
And
Nice little pickup there on 1st and 10. Pickup of about 6, maybe 7.
Another chunk of 6 yards for Avik White. Steady dose of him.
It's been a long drive for the Cougars, and now one play will put them in the red zone.
2nd and 5, I would watch for the pass here. They've been getting soft coverage on Tristan Thomas up at the top of your screen. The DB is playing very soft on him.
Yeah,
he's open in the flat.
He's about 15 yards off of Thomas at the top of your screen. But this time they keep it still on the ground. And a rush for nearly 4 yards. We'll say 4.5. It'll be a 3rd and short coming up. This will be the 12th play of this long drive for the Cougars.
And I think here you just sneak it with Braxton O'Neal to get the 1st down and get a new set of downs and start looking toward the end zone.
Cougars have had the ball for a little over 7 minutes here in the first quarter. Of course, the Cardinals only needed 2 plays to score on the opening drive. There's a handoff to White. Nope, it's a keeper by O'Neal. Boy, he's getting good at that.
He got the 1st down.
He did get the 1st down, and you called it.
Left side will have a Cougar 1st down.
That's the 4th 1st down of this drive. It started way back at the Cougar 21.
Keeper on the triple option there again for Braxton O'Neal, and they're just making it work.
A 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line of the Cardinals. Only got to get down to the 5. Here's a pitch. Payne gets smoked at the line of scrimmage, looking for that edge over there, but the Cardinals closed it off nicely.
Negative yardage on that one, and that's what the Cardinals want to see out of their defensive line. Strong play.
Tyler Burnett on the tackle there, and a big hit, announcing his presence in that gap. 2:30 left to play here in the first quarter, 2:12. Oh, another, another big hit at the line of scrimmage, but this time White falling forward to about the 10-yard line.
The 8th carry by White already, and we're only on the first drive of the game for the Munford Cougars.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 coming up now.
Third down.
Thomas now lined up at the bottom of the screen. O'Neal looking to throw, flushed out of the pocket, takes a shot to the end zone, nearly caught before heading out of bounds, but I think that was Lamarius Payne, could not get his hands on it. Take another look. Not a bad throw on the run.
No,
and the receiver got his hands on it there.
Pretty good throw on the run, and he put it out to a place where if anybody was going to catch it, it would only be his guy. He kept it away from the defender, and the receiver just not able to make a play, but not a bad decision at all by O'Neal.
Yeah, so now 4th and 7 coming up from the 10-yard line. So that long drive, can't punch it in the end zone, but they're still going to try to at least get some points out of it here. 10 seconds remaining on the play clock. Oh, it was a bad snap or a bad hold. I don't know about the snap, but it was definitely a bad hold. Jesse Savage could not kick it away cleanly, and you got a feel for the Cougars there. A long drive. Oh, and the holder got smoked there too by Christian Macklin.
Yeah, absolutely. Macklin just busts in through the line and upsets what they want to do, and now the Cougars have to go back on defense, and after that long drive, come away with nothing.
17 plays. And about 9 minutes taken off the clock here in the first quarter. Here's a pitch out.
And just a nifty little pitch there, but it only gets a couple of yards for the Brighton Cardinals.
Burrell on the carry. Picks up about 3 yards. It'll be second down and 7.
They're going to line up and try to take another shot.
Second and 8.
Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage right there. Munford's defense, they don't want to get beat 2 drives in a row on a long run.
Third and long coming up. Under 45 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Cardinals leading 7-0. Standing in the backfield, Joe Williamson. 11 guys in the box. Play action. Looking to throw. Got a man downfield. Oh, great defense there by the Cougars. And that was Kelton Mason on the coverage there.
Well played by the defensive back here. He waits until the ball gets there and makes contact, and then makes sure that the bobble doesn't turn into a catch. Perfect coverage.
Yeah, Bryce Chaco, the intended receiver.
And now, just like that, here comes a punt from the Cardinals.
Bringing pressure, they get the punt away. Nice punt by the Cardinals. And it will roll down to the 45-yard line. So a 3 and out. And now the Cougars come back out with pretty good field position here.
And Munford gets another shot at it, and they start on their own 44. Or I'm sorry, the Brighton 44. The correct side of the field.
Here's the handoff to White. Oh, O'Neal on the keeper. Getting really good at that.
I think he got there. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close looking at that spot as to whether or not they give him the first down.
And they knock him out of bounds. That stops the clock with 4.3 seconds left.
It looks like they will not give him the first down. They'll call it 9 yards. He'll still have 1 to go.
So one more play here to end the first quarter. 2nd and 1 coming up. White in the backfield. Payne lined up to the left.
I'd take a shot here. They're not going to.
Oh, there's Boyd on the handoff. Or excuse me, White rather.
Nothing.
Hey, on the tackle for Brighton.
And we will head to the second quarter. 3rd and 1 coming up for the Cougars when we come back here to Brighton. You're watching Tennessee High School football on Tubetown.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
3rd and 1 for the Munford Cougars as we are ready to start the second quarter here in Brighton. The Cardinals with a 7-0 lead over Munford. Andy Maness, Chad Gatlin here with you. It only took them 2 plays to start the game for the Cardinals to find the end zone, a 74-yard rush.
Well, the Munford Cougars in the last 2 weeks have shown some life on offense. Long drive with no points here in the first quarter of this game, but the last 2 weeks they scored 34 last week in a loss to Southwind, a heartbreaker, a 1-point loss in a district game. But then 2 weeks ago, put up 71 points against Craigmont. Wow. This offense really exploded compared to the first 2 games. Alvick White, 277 yards and 4 touchdowns over the last 2 games. And we see he's the workhorse here tonight.
Let's see what they do on 3rd and 1. They hand it off to White. And he will move the chains again for the Cougars.
Carry of about 3 yards by White there, just enough to get it done. And if I had been Nick Markle on that 2nd and 1, I think I would have taken a shot at that point just because it's sort of a throwaway down anyway. And if you don't get it, you're in the same position you were just in at 3rd and 1.
Well, now it's 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Hand off to the left side. Cougars move the ball out to about the 21-yard line. A nice little pickup there on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 9, and that was White again on the carry.
And White with his 10th carry there gets about 8 yards, and they're continuing to just hand it to him. But what you have to wonder, Andy, is can he keep carrying the ball this many times per drive when you get into the fourth quarter?
And you think about how humid it is tonight, too. You're going to be dealing with cramps a little bit later on. Always do in the second half. Here's O'Neal on the keeper. Now the pitch out to Payne. Payne with the cut in the backfield, but he is going to get dropped behind the line of scrimmage at the 25-yard line. A loss on 2nd down will bring up 3rd and about 3, it looks like, from this position. So we'll see if the Cougars can convert once again.
And Payne, just on the bad end of things so far tonight, has been getting negative yardage, but in that case, it was a dangerous pitch, and O'Neal probably would have done just as well to hang on to that one.
Over a minute and a half gone by here in the second quarter. 3rd and 4. Here's a little jet sweep option. And hand it off to Ben Cerniglia, and he is going to move it up to about the 22-yard line.
And that's his first carry of the night. He'll pick up about 5.
4th and 1 now coming up. That's a long 1 yard. We'll see if they can convert it here. Turns, hands it off to White. White hit in the backfield, dropped by a couple of Cardinals.
He was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing else there. And the ball will go over on downs.
Austin Welzant, one of the Cardinals in there to stop that run. And as Chad mentioned, the Cardinals get the ball back.
It was a well-designed play and really well executed by the Cougars. They were able to hand the ball off very quickly and get up the middle, and that's what it's designed to do, is to catch the defensive line off guard, but Brighton was just ready for the play.
So now Johnson takes the snap, hands it off to Williamson. Williamson, little stutter step before he accelerates through the gap. He's going to pick up a nice little 3 yards on 1st and 10, running to the right side.
27.
Well, that's a big back coming out of the backfield.
He did not want to go down on that one.
5'10", they don't have his weight listed.
Flag on the play.
He is big. He is a big boy. Oh, had a penalty out on the field. It looks like it's going to go against the Cardinals, and judging by how far they're marking it back, looks like it's holding.
So that'll erase that carry. Cardinals will line up and try to do it again. Now, one thing Nick Johnson can do is throw the ball. We haven't seen it, obviously, because on the first couple of drives they've ran,
had the one pass play broken up by one of the Cardinals, Kelton Mason. Here's the second down run that goes for nothing. Excuse me, that was a replay of first down, so now second, and it looks to be about maybe 19 coming up. Might have got a yard there.
You got to try to pick it up in chunks here, and I think if you're Mike Davis, you're going to have to either throw one to the outside to try to get your running back in space, or try to toss a screen play or something like that just to get some of this yardage back.
Well, here is a play action toss out to the 35, picked off by Savage. Jesse Savage taking it out to the 20, 15, 10, 5.
Touchdown.
But there is some laundry back at the 18-yard line. This one's probably going to be coming back for a block in the back.
We'll see. If it was after it changed possession, then Munford will still have the ball. They just won't get the touchdown.
Yeah, they will have it. Oh, no, that one is going to go against the Cardinals, so it's a touchdown. Ineligible receiver downfield is the call. Johnson had a little bit of time to throw this ball. See him surveying, and then Savage just goes up to make the pick.
And there's the block in the back there. And if you see that, I don't see how the referee didn't flag that one. They flagged Brighton.
That's a good question.
But that one was clearly a block in the back. Now, it was a good block that sprung him free, but clearly a block in the back. The thing about that throw is Jacob Rodriguez was open in the flat, wide open, and just overlooked by Nick Johnson going for the long ball and didn't have the arm to get it there. So it's picked off by Savage and run in for a pick six. But if you watch right here, you can see in the flat that you've got Jacob Rodriguez. If he just throws it to him, they at least make it third and manageable.
Well, Jesse Savage takes this pick back, ties it up at 7, 8:19 left to play here in the first half. Munford getting ready now to kick this one away.
Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
Little short squib kick after the touchdown by the Cougars. The Cardinals very close to getting a hold of that. Oh, a little shove there on the sideline.
I
by
can't
Darian
believe
Lewis.
that didn't draw a flag. 2 late hits by the Brighton player. 1 late hit and then a shove after that, and still no flag.
Will be Brighton ball, 1st and 10.
On the sideline there. I also don't know why Munford decided to kick that one the way that they did, but at least Brighton in pretty good shape to start this drive.
Well, they almost got to that kick even then from the 37-yard line. Play blown dead here before we get going. And we've got a timeout by the Munford Cougars. First timeout taken by the Cougars here in the first half. Cardinals still have all 3 of theirs. 8:18 left to play here in the first half. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more action from the second quarter in Brighton right after this on Tubetown. Andy Manus, Chad Gatlin back here with you in the second quarter in Brighton. The Cardinals and the Cougars tied up at 7. 8:18 left to play in the first half. The Cougars wanted to talk some things over, get their defense adjusted. A couple guys backed up into coverage now. Here is a run play on 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Taking that around to the left side is Wesley Irvin.
And a lot of running to only get about a half a yard there.
Take a look at him bounce outside, tried to follow his blockers, but they just did not get a good enough push downfield.
Well, and good job staying at home by the Munford defense. You had Tyler Burnett. I'm sorry, not Tyler Burnett. You had Carson Roberson out there, and he is a standout player on this Munford defense. Number 6, Roberson. I'm sure that won't be the only time we call his name tonight.
No, certainly not. Here's a pitch on the jet sweep. Sharp takes the handoff and the hit. It's dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Might have picked up a half a yard. It'll be 3rd and 8 coming up.
His first carry goes for 74. His second carry of the game goes for 1. Brighton Munford not wanting to be fooled twice.
Irvin lined up in the backfield next to Johnson. And now a timeout called by the Cardinals. So the Cardinals using the first timeout of the first half. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a timeout along with them. 7:03 left to play in the second quarter. We're back with more from Brighton right after this.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
Taking a look at the Brighton Cardinals here in the second quarter. 7:03 left to play in the first half. Cardinals and the Cougars tied up at 7.
Coach Mike David in his first year, 1-3 so far. Brought in kind of to the surprise of a lot of people with the resignation of Robin Jacobs, who just 2 years ago took this team to the state semifinals.
3rd and 8 for the Cardinals from their own 39-yard line. Low snap, looking to throw. That was pass interference all day long.
All the way.
My goodness. Kelton Mason just had a hold of Michael Armour's jersey.
Yeah, there was no doubt left in that one. If he had let go a little earlier, the ref may not have seen it, but he holds him the entire way.
Look at the left hand there. That left hand all over the jersey. Great job by our camera crew, our replay crew down in the truck, giving you a clear look at that one. The Cardinals 1st and 10 now from the 46-yard line.
On the right side of the 50 for Brighton. See if they can get a little of that magic from the first drive going.
Yeah, 2 plays, 74 yards. 2 plays, 75 yards that first drive of the night. Here is a pitch out to Irvin. Irvin searching for that sideline, gets knocked out at the 45, a pickup of about a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up after this. Stops the clock with 6:51.
2nd down 9.
And Munford going to stay in the package that we've seen them in all night. 4 down linemen. They bring a 5th from the outside.
Here's the run on 2nd down, stopped for a gain of about 2. And that was Williamson on the carry there.
Williamson trying to chip away and get a couple of yards here and there. He hasn't had much luck in breaking through. But a lot of times the Cardinals are using these short runs to set up a pass. Unfortunately, the last time it ended up in a pick 6.
See if they throw it again here. Nope. Double
reverse.
handoff. Sharp bouncing to the outside. Showing his speed, but can't quite break away from the pack this time. But either way, a great run to move the chains for the Cardinals. Take a look at this move once he finds some space. There's the bounce out following his block there. And a good job to avoid the hold there by Tyler Burnett.
A nifty little inside reverse there where you think the ball is with Williams and he quickly hands it off. And if I'm the coach, I'm sticking with number 29 for the bulk of my carries tonight. Because he's able to break free every 3 or 4 plays.
Yeah, Braxton Sharp trying to figure out what play they're running here. 1 second left on the play clock. It's a handoff to Williamson. Williamson running to his right, trying to find the edge, looking for a block from Sharp. And he's going to find the sideline, knocked out at about the 24-yard line. It'll be 2nd and about 7 coming up. Stops the clock once again at 5:54. Nice little drive being strung together here now by the Cardinals. 8th play of this drive coming up.
Everybody's in tight on this one. It's telegraph run.
Yep, Williamson running to the left side this time between the hash marks. Stopped at the 20-yard line. A pickup of about 3.
He'll get about 3 there, and now at this point the Cardinals are just saying, we dare you to try to stop us.
Down right at the 20-yard line. They get a 3rd down.
Clock now running under 5:30 to play in the half. Cougars will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Here's the option. Johnson going to take it himself right up the middle. He crosses the 20-yard line, but runs into a wall of white jerseys at about the 19. So it will be 4th down coming up now.
That only goes for about 2 yards. But what'll get lost in it is it was an excellent read. It was a play for loss if he hands that ball off. He pulls the ball at the last possible second and gets those 2 yards. If they get this field goal, it is because of that decision.
And he was super patient on that handoff. Super patient waiting to figure out what decision he needed to make. What a kick.
Nice.
Had all the distance in the world, but just could not put it through the uprights.
Honestly,
wow, it looked good
I thought it was good.
It looked good from here. Great kick. That was Ethan Starnes on the kick there. Take a look. Had plenty of distance.
It had to be left.
Yep.
And it is no good, but a plenty of leg, like you said, from Ethan Starnes on that. All for naught as the ball goes over on downs. Now we see this Munford offense again, still yet to get on the board for them. Their one score coming from defense.
Yep.
They can sustain drives, but can they pay them off in this game?
Payne is in the backfield. White is the fullback, but it's Johnson on the keeper himself. He was able to shrug off one defender in the backfield. Excuse me, O'Neal, not Johnson. O'Neal able to move the ball out.
He'll get 3 yards out of nothing there. There's
But
a little bit of laundry
yep.
on the field, so this may be coming back for holding.
Yeah, it's back there behind the 20-yard line, so more than likely this was going to be 10 yards against the Cougars.
That's a defensive holding on the Cardinals, so they'll tack on 10 yards on the end of the play there. And now they're getting
right there, a little shove there after the play. 58 there.
They stepped off 15 yards on a 10-yard penalty there. It's a little confusing because they didn't give the signal for the personal foul, but Munford the beneficiary nonetheless.
1st and 10 now from the 38-yard line. Here's a run by White. No, excuse me, O'Neal.
O'Neal gets 11 there. I think he would have had a lot more if he just didn't see it. But if he'd have stayed to his right instead of cutting left, he's got 3 blockers out in front, and I think he may have gone the distance. He just didn't see it when the Brighton man got up on him.
.355 to play here in the second quarter. The referee coming over here to talk to the Brighton sideline, trying to figure out what's going on here. Talking with Coach David over here on the sideline, it looks like.
Discussion, 3 officials. And now the head referee going and talking to some of the Brighton staff. Seems like there is some sort of complaint about something happening on the Munford sideline from the Brighton sideline. And he'll go talk to head coach Nick Markle now to explain to him what they're going on. I'm speculating, but it looked to me like Coach David was complaining about something from the Munford sideline.
Well, the referee looked like he pointed at the play clock down at one end zone, and now the play clock down at one end zone is turned off. So maybe they are turning the play clocks off here on the field and keeping time out.
Somebody mic'd the ref, and then we would all know.
Well, now they've got the play clock turned back on down there, but it is not running, so it must be malfunctioning. They are keeping it out on the field. Game clock continuing to tick under 3:45. This time it is a handoff to White. And they will push him backwards past the 50-yard line.
They'll get forward progress for about 1 on that one.
Yep, so now a 2nd and 9 coming up. Well, and I think they've got the clocks operating again properly.
Watch Tristan Thomas now lined up down at the bottom of your screen.
Well, they'll hand it off to White once again. He's going to rumble forward for 4, maybe 5 yards. They'll give him 4 1/4. Take another look here. There's the turn, the handoff. He just lowers his head and runs right through the gap.
Alvick White can always drag a couple of guys with him to get those extra couple of yards. You're not going to see him lose yardage on very many carries.
Payne goes in motion. They hand it off. White once again, but this time he is stopped at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down now coming up for the Cougars.
Jacob Rodriguez, number 41.
And so now a decision, and it looks like not much of a decision. The Cougars are going to stay on the field, being on this side of the 50. Andy, I'm not sure this is the right call. Honestly, if you would think they may want to punt it and pin the Cardinals deep, make them run the 2-minute drill all the way down the field. The clock is running after all.
Yeah, they may
so
call
they
a
would get the ball
timeout.
back with about 140. It looks like now they're going to stall until timeout.
Yeah, just trying to run some more clock down here at the end of the first half. So timeout taken by the Cougars. They do still have one remaining. The Cardinals have two. We're going to take a timeout. 1:48 again left to play here in the second quarter. Tied up in Brighton. Taking a look at the Cougars huddle. 4th and 5 coming up for Munford. Tied up with the Brighton Cardinals. 1:48 left to play here in the second quarter. See what formation they come back out with. And they are going to stick with their offense. They may try to draw them off sides here with a hard count. Let's see.
I think if you were going to do that, you would have tried to do that before the timeout. And now I see a pass to Tristan Thomas in the future. No, a keeper.
O'Neal on the keeper, fighting for extra yardage. He is close to the first down marker, but as Chad said, not going to make it. Well, maybe. I don't know. Let's see where they spot this. It looks like, yeah, it's a yard shy.
Referee signals turnover on downs, and now Brighton will get the ball in a lot better field position than maybe they were expecting to get it.
Yep. And they have 1:43, 2 timeouts left to play with here in the first half. On their own 46-yard line.
And like I said, not to second-guess coaches, Andy. Of course, I just sit up here on a microphone and talk. But if you punt and put them deep, you give them about 143 with a lot more yardage.
That is a live ball. And good job by Irvin falling down on top of that. Boy, Johnson tried to step up in the pocket, but somebody got a hold of his arm there, and he lost the football. It was not moving forward. And good job by Irvin. A heads-up play to scoop that up and not assume that it was incomplete.
And because I really would have, I thought it was incomplete when he threw it.
4 wide receivers. Johnson looking to throw. Taking a shot here on the near sideline, but it's dropped by Michael Armour.
And that was just a pure drop. The ball was exactly where it needed to be on his right shoulder so he could turn out and run with the ball. Just not able to make the play there.
Yep. So 3rd and 17 now coming up. Look out for maybe a bubble screen here on the top of your screen. There it is. But it's a double pass, looking to throw, but they can't get the throw away. Threw it out to Jacob Meredith, but, threw it out to Andy Black Thunder.
And he just is not able to see that he has running room in front of him. He doesn't. If it's the way you run that play, Andy, is if it's open, throw it. If not, you take off. You don't wait on a receiver to come open when you've got pressure coming in on you like that. That was just poor execution on that play. It could have worked if he'd have just pump faked and run the ball. He may have gotten at least close to the first down, but now they're in a 4th and 24. And punting from a position that may give Munford a shot or two at the end zone before the half.
Yeah, 44 seconds remaining.
What a great name, by the way, for number 19, Andre Black Thunder.
That's Andy. There's no R there.
Oh, Andy.
Yeah. Andy Black Thunder.
He's listed as a quarterback.
He's going to go places
Oh, yeah.
based on that name alone. Dropped the snap, still gets the punt away. Great punt. Takes a high bounce.
Terrible decision by the Munford player to play that ball on the bounce. That was number 17, who's not listed on their roster.
Whatever his name is, it's not as good as Andy Black Thunder.
No, that's
Coming
true.
on the tackle will be
That may be the
first and
best
10.
name in high school football. The best name in college football is a tight end at the University of Memphis named Joey Magnifico. But I believe Andy Backfun. There's also, I'm being told by the guys in the truck that there's a running back at Kentucky named Cavassier Smoke.
What about the greatest to ever do it? You seen that guy?
Nope.
There's a basketball player or a football player being recruited now, and his name is the greatest, and his middle name to ever do it.
No way.
Look it up. If I'm lying, I'm flying. It's worth a Google.
You got high hopes for your kid if you name him that.
That's what his mom said.
First and 15.
That's what his mom said.
That's
the
a lot
greatest
of pressure
to
on
ever
a
do it.
toddler.
Well, apparently he's like a Division One prospect, so it's working
Yeah,
out
I mean, he
pretty well
wasn't-
for him.
He wasn't born 6'3", 250 pounds, you know?
Well, I mean, he got the name. I mean, yeah, you know. Anyway, first and 15 coming up here for the Cougars. Here's a keeper by O'Neal. Cuts back to
broke
the
it free.
middle. Now he's across the 45 to 50. To the far side, 35-30. Foot race down the near sideline, and he gets taken out of bounds at around the 10-yard line. We'll see where they
Oh,
originally
man.
spot him out at. No, they'll spot him out at the 15. What a run, and great job reversing direction. Just cuts back, as you see here, to the near sideline, and a great job staying in bounds for as long as he could. Right there, just got knocked out and driven down. A hard
That
hit,
is
but a
a
great run on first and 10.
51-yard sprint there. And it's a run play called with 40 or 30-something seconds left. I mean, just crazy. And then he breaks it free. And now they get a couple of shots at the end zone. They're going to run it again, though, it looks like.
Here's O'Neal on the keeper. Slung him down in the backfield. 15 seconds remaining here in the first half. 10 seconds now. Are they going to call a timeout? Trying to get everybody back to the line of scrimmage. 4 seconds left. 3 seconds left.
And 1.2 left when they clock it.
Oh, you've got the timeout. You almost wonder.
And now they're going to kick the field goal. They're going to send Savage out here to attempt what will be about a 35-yard field goal, which is a pretty good field goal for a high school kicker.
Well, and we saw the first field goal they attempted earlier tonight was a bad hold. And now a timeout called by the Cardinals, trying to ice the kicker a little bit here with 1.2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick timeout with them. We're back with the final seconds of the first half from Brighton right after this.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Taking a look at the Cougars as they have the football 2nd and 13 from the 18-yard line of Brighton. 1.2 seconds remaining here in the first half. Cougars going to attempt a pretty hefty-sized field goal here. Savage coming on to attempt.
Savage looks pretty confident that he's got it. Nick Markle must be pretty confident that he's got a 35-yarder in his arsenal if he sends him out there. But now Munford takes a timeout. No. Brighton takes a timeout, which I thought was against the rules.
Brighton takes another timeout.
Well, I don't know if Munford called that timeout. I don't know why they would clock the ball instead of calling the timeout before. But when the referee signaled the timeout, he first signaled Munford, then he turned around and signaled the timeout for Brighton.
So nobody knows.
My question is, if it's on Munford's side, it seems a little odd that if they had a timeout, they wouldn't have called it earlier. And if it's on Brighton's side, isn't it illegal to call 2 timeouts in a row? So just a lot of questions. Another thing that would be solved by Mike on the referee.
I agree. We should work on that. Can we petition that?
Maybe so. The TSSAA. And take 3 on the 35-yard field goal from Savage.
The kick is up, and that one went through the uprights. Had the distance, had the accuracy, and the Cougars have taken a 3-point lead headed into the locker room. 10-7, Munford leading Brighton underneath the foot of Jesse Savage. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some halftime stats for you. Right after this, you're watching Tennessee High School football on Tubetown.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
We welcome you back to Brighton High School. Andy Manus and Chad Gatlin here with you on a beautiful Friday night in Tennessee. The Munford Cougars taking a 3-point lead into the locker room over the Brighton Cardinals after the first 2 quarters. 10-7 is the score. Jesse Savage with, what was that, a 35-yard field goal to end the second quarter to put the Cougars on top. But overall, a pretty fun first half of football between these 2 county rivals.
Well, Jesse Savage, the man right now for the Munford Cougars, as he has all the points on the board.
That's right, he does.
He put them on the board first with a pick 6 with 8:32 left in the second quarter. A 23-yard touchdown return on a pick 6 after a short pass from Brighton's quarterback, Nick Johnson. And on Brighton's side scoring, they opened up with a bang at the first minute of the first quarter, a 74-yard touchdown sprint from Braxton Sharp, and then after that, the Cardinals have been kept off the board by this Munford defense. Sharp has rushed for 93 yards and only 3 carries tonight for Brighton. The leading rusher for Munford is quarterback Braxton O'Neal, and he's rushed 11 times for 53 yards, followed up closely by Alvick White. He's carried the ball 14 times for 45 yards. Munford so far has 0 passing yards, 104 rushing yards in this game, and Brighton has 105 rushing yards in this game and also 0 passing yards. So very close. Time of possession has to go to the favor of Munford. They've had longer drives and sustained longer drives, but neither team able to find the end zone after the 11th minute of the first quarter when Brighton did it on a 74-yard run.
Yeah, offenses still kind of struggling a little bit to get going for both sides as you're taking a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Still about 13 minutes left before the teams come out to begin the second half of this county rivalry. We'll come back and talk a little bit more about tonight's game and get you ready for the second half. Right after this, Andy Manus and Chad Gatlin back here with you in Brighton here on Tubetown.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once it got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have two cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once it got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even rooftop parking. Strange forces at work? Only if you're referring to gravity. And we covered it. Talk to Farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Back here at Brighton High School on Highway 51 in West Tennessee from Ritter Tubetown, which, by the way, you can download the Tubetown app on the Amazon Fire Stick. Follow along with us on your big screen at home. You don't just have to watch on your phone anymore to catch it live. You can see it right there. Even if you don't have Ritter cable available in your area, you can tune into the game. Last year, this game was at Munford. The Cougars won it 27-21, and they lead in this one 10-7 at halftime. It's a matchup of District 8-5A. Both teams 0-1 in the district right now. Both teams needing a win. You don't want to start the district 0-2. It really almost kills your playoff chances before the season's even got started good. You have to put up quite a few wins to get to the playoffs if you start at 0-2 in your district. Munford under head coach Nick Markle and Brighton under head coach Mike David, and we'll see the second half face-off in this one. One offensive touchdown on the board came from Brighton. 2 scores came from Jesse Savage and Munford, a pick 6 and a field goal. We'll be back with second half action in just a moment on Ritter Tubetown.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even rooftop parking. Strange forces at work? Only if you're referring to gravity. And we covered it. Talk to Farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even rooftop parking. Strange forces at work? Only if you're referring to gravity. And we covered it. Talk to Farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
Andy Manus and Chad Gatlin back here with you in Brighton, ready to start the second half of action between the Brighton Cardinals and the Munford Cougars. 10-7 is the score. The Cougars leading the Cardinals after the first two quarters. A field goal from Jesse Savage, about 35 yards in distance, gave the Cougars a 3-point lead, and now the Cougars get to start the second half of action, returning a kick.
A low-scoring game like this, a score on this drive for the Cougars could go a long way to locking it in and demoralizing that Brighton sideline.
Got two men back deep to return for the Cougars, standing on their own goal line. All being kicked off from the 40-yard line. Nice kick.
And oh, gosh. That's a bad roll.
Yep. Just went out of bounds right at the pylon.
Man. That is a tough break because it was a great kick that was going to go into the end zone and then just skipped out of bounds on them, and now that'll give them the ball up.
Now, if that was 35. A punt, that would have been perfect.
All right, yeah.
The Cougars come out on their own 35-yard line, trying to pick back up where they left off in the first half. One wide receiver. They'll go back to their workhorse, Avik White. White able to keep his feet moving as he moves through the middle of the field, able to pick up 10 yards on first down and pick up a whole new set. Ball spotted at the 45.
How does he not tackle right here?
Two.
He's wrapped up. He drags that guy down. He's able to keep his feet moving and just get right across the line. And I actually think he got sort of a conservative spot there. They could have given him a couple more yards on that.
Absolutely, they could have. This time it's O'Neal on the keeper. He crosses the 50-yard line at midfield. Down to the 49, a pickup of about 7 there. On 1st and 10, 2nd and 3 coming up, and
stays behind his blocker and keeps his head down on that one to make sure he gets the yardage and secures the football.
Well, the Cougars look like their legs are a little bit fresher than they were at the end of that second quarter.
That's amazing what a little Gatorade will do.
2nd and 4 now. O'Neal looking to perhaps pitch it, but instead he will keep it himself. Looked like a design option play, but O'Neal just decided it was better to keep it himself and run with it.
I think he may have lost his footing there and just tried to dive forward to get anything he could.
Yeah, good job by the Cardinals. They really closed the edge off that time.
I think O'Neal wanted to cut it back inside, but when he tried to make the cut, it started to fall.
Play clock down to 10. And now the Cougars are ready. Play clock down to 5. There's the read option. They give it off to White. White stopped just shy of that 45-yard line. That was the line to gain. And they're going to put him at the 46. Take another look at the run. A good job by the linebackers here from Brighton to push him backwards. Darian Lewis in there had that interception back in the first half.
They keep him from getting that first down. They know where the marker is, and they push him, and they set up sort of a wall between them and that first down marker. Now you'll just see a quick run up the middle probably.
Yep, they give it off to White. White still on his feet.
There.
That's a little bit of hard push that time there. Take another look at the replay here. White is going to get the first down, but
right there,
I can't believe they did not throw a flag for the late push after that.
Well, the play should have been whistled dead long before they got that far back anyway. Referee is letting them play a little long on that one.
First and 10 now from the 44-yard line. White again in the backfield. Michael Dowell at the top of your screen. There's the handoff to Payne. Payne hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss of a yard.
And Payne has just had zero luck carrying the ball tonight.
Yeah, take a look here at the replay. Payne's going to go in motion, gets the handoff, but again, just a good job by the Cardinal defense there.
Well, and it's behind the block of Cody Bryant, and if Bryant holds his initial block just a little bit longer, he may be able to break that one, but he tries to get downfield to make the next block, and that's what frees up the defensive end to come make the tackle.
Payne goes in motion again. Here's the option. He gives it off to White. White dragging a player by his shirt. White's going to move the ball out past the 40-yard line. They'll get it down to the 37. Take another look here. He's hit, bounces off of one defender, and then carries another.
8-yard scramble for White there. His 18th carry tonight.
And now a 3rd and 3 coming up from the 37-yard line. It's White in the backfield. Payne lined up to the left. Boyd lined up to the right. Here's Boyd in motion. There's the option. O'Neal keeps it himself. Falls across the 30-yard line, the 35-yard line, but I think he has to get down to the 34. He is going to be a yard shy. It'll be 4th and short again for the second time on this drive.
Well, maybe for the first time tonight we see O'Neal make a bad read and keep the ball rather than handing it off to White in that situation. I think White had a little more room to work with.
Boyd goes in motion. White takes the handoff. Oh, football came out. Brighton says they have it.
And the ref says Brighton has it.
That's going to be Josh Fleming, the junior Cardinal, coming out of the pile with the football. Take another look here. White had the first down, but right there at the end, somebody punched that ball right out of there. And a good heads-up play by Fleming to fall on top of it.
It's in the press box.
Woo. Munford with another little good drive. Took about 5.5 minutes off of the clock here in the third quarter. 6:57 left to play.
Now Nick Johnson will get his first shot in this second half.
And not too terrible of a field position for the Cardinals either. There's a handoff to Sharp. Sharp with a cut in the backfield.
And a loss of 1 on that one. He just couldn't find the space, and the secondary comes up and makes the tackle and is able to get him a little bit behind the line.
29, Sharp
Yeah, it'll be 2nd and 11.
First negative carry from Sharp tonight.
Still made it look good even with the cut in the backfield because it would have been a loss of 2 or 3. Showing his lateral movement there. 3 wide receivers this time for the Cardinals. Johnson takes the snap. Play action. Looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Just throws it at the dirt. They're going to say it was incomplete. A little late blowing the whistle there on the incompletion.
That's what it baffled me. The ref threw the beanbag. It was clearly a forward pass.
Yeah, that was a little wild there. Take another look here. It was very clearly a forward pass. You see Johnson didn't handle the snap cleanly, so that might have been why that pass. Third and 11 coming up now. Johnson giving some instruction to Sharp here. Little screen play.
Oh my goodness.
Sharp dropped it.
Incomplete. Bring up 4th down.
2 incompletions in a row will lead to a Brighton punt here. Not the way they wanted to start their first drive of the second half. They want to go back down and at least get another shot at the field goal. Their kicker has a ton of leg and just missed it, barely left last time.
Yeah, not going to make it from here. So
no. It would be amazing.
It would be pretty amazing if he could.
Maybe you could free kick it from here.
No, nobody back deep to return this punt for the Cougars. They brought pressure, could not get to the punter. Another great punt by the Cardinals, and it
good Brighton bounce.
It'll take a roll down to the 30-yard line.
And
spotted at the 31.
Nick Gooden got his leg, hit the ball with his leg, and actually saved Munford probably 10 yards there.
Yeah, it had a pretty good roll to it, didn't it?
Just took a weird hop. He was trying to just cover it up and took a weird hop on him and hit him in the leg, and so they'll spot it at the 32 here.
First and 10 for the Cougars. Here's a handoff. White right up the middle. Oh, stripped the football. Just stole it right out of his hands. Are you kidding me? Josh Fleming with the fumble recovery.
Oh, my goodness.
With the fumble recovery on the last drive, just comes up with this football out of nowhere.
And there's a flag at the 9-yard line.
Just stripped it right out of White's hands.
The touchdown may not count.
Yeah, there is a flag back here at the 10-yard line. We'll see if it's after the play. There's also one back here.
It's a block in the back
at
against
the
Brighton.
40.
It's 2 blocks in the back against Brighton. 1 penalty is declined. They take the other penalty.
But either way, it's still Cardinal football. Wow.
That is correct. And where they are marking the ball is kind of baffling to me as to where the flag was thrown on the 9. I don't know how they end up getting the ball marked all the way back at the 48-yard line, but that's where the referees put it. So there must have been, the second block in the back must have been a lot further back.
Here's a handoff to Williamson. Hurdles at the line of scrimmage, right up the middle, still on his feet across the 35.
Oh, my goodness.
What a run from Joe Williamson. Take another look here. Jumps over his blocker at the line of scrimmage and then picks up a good 15 yards on 1st and 10.
The athletic Williamson just making things happen for this Cardinals offense.
3 wide receivers. Let's see if they go back to him. They don't. Throw over the middle. Nearly a good catch out there at the 30-yard line. Trying to get a hand on that is Michael Armour. About pulled the no DB on that one.
That is a second bad drop by the Cardinals tonight with the ball laid right in there.
4 wide receivers, twins on either side for Johnson. Low snap, got to throw it. Finds a man on the near sideline. It's Armour. And he is taken out at the 29-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and about 3rd and 6 coming up.
And that's a 4-yard reception for Armour. He's able to haul it in there. After a skip snap. Oh, and he'll be taken down.
A flag comes flying out, though, here on 3rd down. That one came from the secondary.
They're going to talk it over here. Most likely a face mask.
Yeah, they're marking this one off as if it's against the Cougars.
I believe it was a defensive face mask.
Good call. Good call.
So that'll give the automatic first down to the Cardinals. They're really cooking here on this drive. Penalties helping them. And some nifty running by Williamson. They're in good position right here.
Again, 4 wide receivers, another low snap. Johnson had to pick it up. Now flushed out of the pocket, fires it.
Oh, another drop.
Well, and that one could have easily been picked as well, but it made its wasted the hands of Tyler Burnett. He could not reel it in. Take another look. He escapes the pocket, throws it over the middle, right over the hands of the defender there, and into the breadbasket of Tyler Burnett, and he missed it.
I was wrong about that first down. They called it an incidental face mask, only gave him a 5-yard penalty, so they did not get the automatic first down. That puts them in a situation now to hope that their kicker can put this one through the uprights. We know he's got the leg.
There's a low kick.
Oh, my goodness.
Off the mark. Didn't quite have the distance.
Top the ball.
So now Munford will come back out.
Devin Farrell, please come to the press box. You have your cell phone.
Ethan Starnes just topped the ball on that one. Kind of like I do on most of my golf shots. Kept it low and didn't have a chance to get through the upright.
Must have picked his head up.
Just a bad run for Starnes. That first kick was beautiful and just barely missed. And I don't know if that got in his head a little bit, but now he's 0 for 2 in this game when his team needs a field goal to tie it up.
Well, that's a tall order, asking a high school kicker to boot that one nearly 50 yards, too.
Oh, that's true, but I don't have any doubt that Coach Davis would have put him out there if he couldn't do it.
Sure,
so.
Absolutely. Absolutely, no question. The 28-yard line is where the Cardinals will come back out. No, excuse me, the 20-yard line, rather.
Probably a heavy dose of Olivic White again.
Well, that time it was the keeper.
5 yards for O'Neal. O'Neal's carried the ball 15 times tonight. Olivic White has carried the ball 19 times tonight. They've only attempted 2 passes in the entire game.
Could be setting up something here for later in the game, only ahead by 3. Thomas, wide receiver at the bottom of your screen. White in the backfield. Boyd goes in motion. White takes the handoff. Nope, O'Neal ripped it out of his gut, and he's going to carry it. Past the line to gain. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Cougars with under 3:30 to play.
It was a good decision to keep there. He made it at the very last second, but he picks up 7 yards on the carry and able to get him the first down. We've just seen, outside of one read, excellent decision-making from Braxton O'Neal tonight in the option game. The Brighton defense just seems to tighten up when they get on the other side of the field.
Thomas again, the wide receiver, trailing off your screen here. White again, the tailback in the backfield. An option. O'Neal keeping it himself. Crosses the 40-yard line.
Another 8 yards from O'Neal. He decided when he ran that one he wasn't going to toss it. I don't know if that was a design run for the quarterback or he just knew the toss wasn't going to be there, but he never...
No, he never even faked like it. It looked like a design bootleg the entire way. All right, 2:29 left to play here. They just blew the whistle, trying to figure out why. 2nd and short coming up. Under 2:30 left to play now. This is what Munford likes to do, control possession of the clock. He's got to find the end zone here on this drive. O'Neal on the keeper, dives forward, gets the first down. Picks up about 3, and he will move the chains just shy of the 45-yard line. It'll be spotted at the 44, a fresh set of downs for the Cougars, 1st and 10 from the, again, 44-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter.
It's good enough, like you said, to just keep the clock rolling and keep time of possession in the favor of Munford, keeping the ball out of the hands of Brighton.
And again, we talked about it earlier in the game, 2 wide receivers out here. Both of them have about a 10, 15-yard cushion on them. Here's O'Neal again on the keeper. Running a bootleg to his left. And how about that extra effort with the strength of his legs there at the end of that run, able to pick up about 1.5 yards extra. Take a look. Again, just narrowly avoided disaster in the backfield, but right here doesn't go, well, might have went down there. Looked like he went down. The referee, a little generous on the spot there, did not have a replay at his disposal there. So 2nd and 7 coming up now. And once again, a 10, 15-yard cushion for the wide receivers. Here's O'Neal. Hands it off to White. No, keeps it himself once again. Has another first down. 3 runs in a row for
Braxton O'Neal with another carry.
Yep.
He decided to keep that one. It looked like White had it all the way. The defense was fooled as well. Another first down. They keep chipping away. 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. Just running it down and running out clock. They'll run this play and probably let it just go to the fourth quarter.
That's what I was going to say. This will probably be the last play of the third. Boyd goes in motion. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Got to snap it. Got to snap it. And they will call a timeout to avoid the delay of game penalty on 1st and 10. We'll keep it right here with 18 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. A good little march here by the Cougars after a couple of turnovers here in this third quarter, Chad.
Yeah, they are just controlling the line of scrimmage, pushing the ball forward, 3, 4, 5, 6 yard carries, alternating mostly between Braxton O'Neal and Avik White exclusively on this drive. Braxton O'Neal with all but one of the carries. And tonight, even balance between those two. 20 carries for O'Neal, 19 carries for Avik White in this game so far. And they're content to run the running game. As long as they have the lead and have the ball, they're content to just keep running it and eating up the clock. A division win is a division win, and they don't have to put up big numbers, Andy. They just got to get the win.
Well, and then also you get bragging rights over your team for next year. Again, last year the Cougars won 27-21, so trying to make it, keep the streak alive here, if you will. All right, 1st and 10 from the Brighton 46-yard line. There's a handoff to White. Full head of steam across the 35-yard line all the way down to the 31, and that should bring us to the end of the third quarter. They'll stop the clock momentarily while they get the ball reset. They're ready to go. Clock is winding down. So take a look at the replay there. Just a hard-nosed downhill run that time from White, and that does take us to the fourth quarter. So 10-7 still the score with 3 quarters in the books. Munford leading Brighton by 3. Andy Maness, Chad Gatlin back here with you. The fourth quarter from Brighton after this on Tubetown. Andy Maness, Chad Gatlin back here with you in Brighton, ready to start the fourth quarter between Munford and the Cardinals. 10-7 is the score. Cougars with a 3-point lead. Jesse Savage breaking the tie right before halftime with a 35-yard field goal, and that has been the score ever since. A couple of turnovers there in the third quarter by the Cougars, but right now they've got the football and they are driving in the middle of a 6-play drive that has already lasted about 4 minutes, 5 seconds. And we'll see if they can keep this drive going.
Brighton defense, a couple of good flashes, though. A strip that would have went for a touchdown were it not for a block in the back. A couple of potential interceptions on errant throws. Just unable to make it work, really.
Thomas lined up as a wide receiver at the top of your screen. White in the backfield. Payne goes in motion. They hand it off to White. No, O'Neal on the keeper again.
Quarterback keeps the ball.
He's not getting anything on that one.
Ran right into a host of Cardinals.
Looks like they're going to give him one.
Second down.
2nd and 9 coming up. Is that a flock of Cardinals, I guess I would say?
Would you say flock? Yeah, I suppose so. Birds, right? Flocks.
Yeah, flocks.
Yeah.
10 seconds now left on the play clock here. 2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the 30. They break the huddle again. 2 wide receivers. Thomas at the top. Boyd goes in motion.
Barely got the play off.
Yeah, that time they do hand it to White. White at the 5. He's going to score.
He certainly is.
What a run by Alvik White.
30-yard sprint for Alvik White to the end zone there.
Take another look at the replay here. As you said, they had to hustle to get the snap off. Just lowered his shoulder and followed his blocker all the way in. Great cut there.
Had to push Tristan Thomas out of his way to get into the end zone. Outran the block there.
Oh, they blocked the extra point. Flag comes flying out. We'll see if Brighton got an early jump, but no doubt about that one. They were all over that kick.
We'll see if this is a flag that will allow them to re-kick. It looks like it will be. Personal foul penalty.
They said he jumped over the line. They call that on Joe Lizzie, he said. Number 8. Well, half the distance to the goal.
So Savage will get to re-kick this one.
Yep, instead of from the 2, it's from the 1. Didn't quite get the jump they had last time, but they put it through the uprights. Now the Cougars with a 10-point lead with 11:03 to play here in the 4th quarter. We're back with more action from Brighton right after this.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
Andy Manus, Chad Gatlin back here with you in the 4th quarter. Only 57 seconds gone by here in the 4th quarter. A 30-yard touchdown rush from Avik White and a following extra point have put the Cougars on top of the Cardinals here in the 4th quarter, 17-7. Savage ready to kick it back to the Cardinals. Nice kick, taken inside the 10, and it bounces out of bounds.
It goes out of bounds.
And that one, Brighton has one go out of bounds. Now Munford has had one go out of bounds for him in this half.
So they'll spot it at the 35-yard line. Munford will come out on defense to try to hold the Cardinals here.
Cardinals got to make something happen. Munford's had them locked down the entire game.
First and 10 at their own 35.
The second play of the game, they sprint for a 74-yard touchdown, and ever since then, it's been all Munford.
Yeah, 17 unanswered points. Bringing pressure. They hand it off and slung down in the backfield. Carson Roberson, you mentioned it. I'll say his name again. Number 6 flexing on the offense here.
Right at the line.
Take another look. There's the pressure from both sides, and it's Roberson who gets there first.
Just nowhere to go. It's been sort of feast or famine for Braxton Sharp. He either gets a big gain or none. Oh, a dangerous throw.
That's incomplete.
Yeah, very dangerous as Kelton Mason nearly got a hand on that.
You can't.
He did get a hand on it. Nearly went the other way with it.
You can't make that throw if you're not going over the top, Andy. You can't try to get that inside slant when you have a guy that can cut in. He's going to have to try to go over the top or not throw the ball at all.
3rd and 10 coming up for the Cardinals. 4 wide receivers set. Williamson in the backfield. Johnson flushed out by pressure, escapes it, finds a receiver here on the near sideline. It's caught, but short of the first down marker.
They do call it complete, though.
Catch by Tyler Burnett, the senior wideout for the Cardinals. 4th and short now coming up, nearing the 10-minute mark.
So, Johnson staying in the game here. Well, this is a dangerous place to go for, but I guess you have to.
Winds on either side. They give it to Williamson. Williamson found a gap to run through, but he's short of the first down marker. So the Cardinals will come back out on offense with a 10-point lead. They had room to run, but right there, somebody got a hand on him. Was that Roberson? It was.
Roberson, the star of this Munford defense. It all starts with him.
Just with one arm, bringing down Williamson. And now the Cougars are in clock management mode.
Yeah, I promise you they're in no hurry to punch this one in. And if they do punch it in, it's probably the nail in the coffin for the Cardinals.
This run stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's O'Neal on the carry.
Quarterback keeps the ball.
So Jackson O'Neal stopped for no gain. 2nd and 10 coming up now.
No gain. 2nd down and 10.
Play clock already down to 15. So as we mentioned, they are indeed just trying to run some game clock down here in the 4th quarter with a 10-point lead. Now it's at 5. There's the snap. Here's the keeper by O'Neal. Follows his blocker out to the 40-yard line. Lost the football, but they're going to say he was down before he lost it. So
yeah, he was definitely down.
3rd and now 5 coming up for the Cougars.
He was definitely down before that ball came out on that play. Brighton just getting a little excited, I think, because they want something good to happen for him. They need it very badly.
Have not had a break since that.
They will try to strip this ball every chance they get. I can promise you that.
I have not had a break since that touchdown. They've had one turnover called back. They had that interception that was negated by a penalty, and then had a fumble recovery and touchdown negated by a penalty.
Called back for a block in the back and then couldn't make anything happen on the drive.
Boyd goes in motion. Hand it off to White. White will make his way down to the 35-yard line. Has to make it down to the 34, though, to move the chains. So it's going to be interesting here. A 4th and short coming up with under 8 minutes left to play. Obviously, they're going to keep their offense out on the field here. But
oh, yeah. You're going to go for it here. Your defense has had no problem stopping Brighton all night ever since the first drive. You aren't in danger even if they somehow manage to score. So, yeah, this is not really even a gamble for Munford.
Boyd goes in motion. O'Neal on the keeper, but he does
won't
not
get
get it. He does not get there. The Brighton defense holds strong.
No gain, so the Brighton defense does their job. Now the offense has got to come in and give them a spark. But like I said, that's really not much of a gamble for Munford. They give the ball up here. Brighton starts at the 35.
7:19 left to play here in the 4th quarter, so 7:19 for the Cardinals, able to 7:19 for the Cardinals to put 10 more points on the board. See if they can score a touchdown, get the ball back, and kick a field goal. If they get down in field goal territory, you may see them just go for the field goal if they can't score a touchdown. Here's pressure from the edges once again, and this handoff going to Irvin, and Irvin will go nowhere.
And that's That is just a decision that is odd to me. They spread out 4 wide and then run, and there's nobody to block because you're spread out 4 wide.
Play action, looking to throw. Johnson steps up in the pocket, but he is sacked as the pocket quickly collapses. And look who it is again coming out of that pile with his arms raised. Carson Roberson in there with a couple other Cougars, causing all kinds of havoc in the backfield. So now a 3rd and long coming up.
You just got to spread some guys out and chunk it.
4 wide receivers. Let's see if they do that. Bring in pressure. They do chuck it downfield. Got a man.
He catches
at
it.
the 30-yard line.
Wow.
What a catch falling backwards by Tyler Burnett.
Wow. I mean, that was incredible. That was an incredible play there. It's about a 43-yard pass play.
Yeah, what a job to stay concentrated enough to haul that one in.
I go right back at him right here. That's what they're going to do.
Taking a shot down the far sideline. Great throw. Got turned around and couldn't find it.
I don't know how he doesn't get the flag there. Defender was all over him.
Yeah, take another look here. And you said it, great throw. Took a hit when he let it go, too.
See how the defender, well, I guess he doesn't put too much of a hand in there, but from this angle, it looked like he gave him a shove. But the referee's in a better spot to see it than I am.
Let's see if they go back to the air here. 6:09 left to play in the ball game. 2 wide receivers on either side for Nick Johnson. Play action. Nope, going to keep it himself. Read option.
Bad decision.
Very bad decision. Should have handed that off. He keeps it himself. And that will bring us under the 6-minute mark. 3rd and long coming up for the Cardinals.
Also the play, 3rd down.
Well, we see Johnson's got the arm, and he's fairly accurate. He's had a couple of bad drops tonight. Otherwise, his completion percentage would be a lot better because the ball's been on the money.
Throwing again. Across his body, got a man at the 15-yard line. Complete. That'll move the chains, but a flag comes flying out at the end of that one before the completion happened. This one might be holding, and it is, and it's going to be against the Cougars. So they're going to tack yardage on to the end of this. Good job by Johnson rolling out of the pocket, finding a man, and a great job by the receiver hauling it in.
Especially because Johnson is rolling out and having to make awkward throws across his body because he has to square up. He's running out to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback, so you see he has to square up before he makes the throw. It's a lot harder to do than if you roll out to your throwing arm side where you can just kind of sling it.
So a red zone trip here for the Cardinals late in the 4th quarter. 5:33 to play.
I keep throwing the ball. They forgot to step off the penalty.
So it will be 1st and goal now coming up. That changes things a bit. First and goal, 4 wide receivers. Irvin in the backfield. Irvin takes the handoff. Falls forward, picked up maybe half a yard, if that. So 2nd and goal now coming up from the, looks like he might have actually lost a yard. Spot him at the 8.
Yeah, looks like they did bring him back a yard there. I just look for a fade route.
Rolling to his right, picks up a block.
That's exactly where they go. Fade route in the end zone, touchdown.
Hauled it in. Touchdown, Michael Armour going up to bring that one in. A well-designed play. Chad called it. And it is now a 4-point ball game. It'll be 1 possession if we can get an extra point here.
Good for Armour there. Armour getting some redemption after a couple of drops earlier in the game.
Ethan Starnes, extra point attempt is good. And with 4:51 left to play here in the fourth quarter, it is a 3-point ball game once again. Brighton finding the scoreboard courtesy of a touchdown pass from Nick Johnson to Michael Armour. Back with more on Tubetown right after this. Woo. .51 left to play here in the fourth quarter. 17-14 is your score. The Cardinals finding the end zone. A 7-yard touchdown pass from Nick Johnson to Michael Armour.
3 for 5 on that drive for 3 for 4, on that drive for Johnson. .65 yards and a touchdown.
Well, the bad news for the Cardinals is the Cougars like to run the football and eat a lot of clock. The good news for the Cardinals is they've got 3 timeouts left. It's bad news for the Cougars, obviously.
And they were able to hold them to 1 first down in the last drive. So if this defense can lock up, and they have been able to lock them up, it's just taking them some time to do so. But if they can do it with really anywhere within the next 3 minutes, they got a good shot.
Got to get a couple of stops, though. Not going to get one here on 1st and 10 as O'Neal finds a lot of running space as he cuts back to the middle of the field. Forward progress stopped at the 30-yard line. A pickup of 10 yards there on 1st and 10, so not how you want to start off this drive. If you're a Cardinal fan, that's exactly how you want things to go if you're a Cougar fan. Take another look here at this keeper by O'Neal. Does an excellent job just navigating the blocks.
O'Neal over the 100-yard mark in this game, 113 yards rushing from O'Neal. Still yet to complete a pass, 0 for 3 in the air. I don't think they'll be looking to pass.
White on the carry this time, moves it out to the 34-yard line. 2nd and 6 coming up.
4-yard pickup.
Well, if they don't start calling timeouts, 3 or 4 more plays here, and we're going to be down inside the 2-minute territory. I would imagine they're probably going to try to call one if they get a stop here.
Alvick White's a 100-yard rusher in this game as well, at 121 yards on the ground right now for him.
Boyd goes in motion. White with the handoff. Driven backwards at the 35-yard line. They'll spot him at the 36. He'll pick up 2 yards on that carry. It'll be 3rd and short coming up. Clock continuing to wind down. Brighton not using those timeouts.
Well, they think they can stop them here, and they've got 3 yards left to go on this one. 4. Yeah, 4 yards. They think they can bottle them up. And honestly, Munford has not shown them a lot to make them respect the pass. So if you're Brighton, tighten the linebackers in.
Got nobody covering the one wide receiver down here at the bottom of your screen. But here's O'Neal on the keeper. Picks up the first down and more. Tackled at the 50-yard line. Oh, and a flag comes out at the end of that one. And I think one of the Brighton players getting a little frustrated down there. I think Jonathan Maley, big number 40 there in the middle of your screen, getting a little bit of trouble.
So it's a 14-yard carry if it stands for O'Neal, but we're still waiting on the signal from the head referee as he talks it over with the bag judge. They are signaling the first down for Munford and stepping off a penalty, so it will be against Brighton.
15-yard penalty against the Cardinals. Personal foul is the call.
Take another look here at the end of that one. We'll see if, well, couldn't really see anything from that angle, but a nice run there by O'Neal.
So a personal foul penalty at the end of the play puts Munford in good position here to lock the game up.
Yep. Nearing the 2-minute, 30-second mark. They're going to let the clock tick all the way down to probably 5 before they snap it.
If you're Coach Mike David, you're going crazy right now on that Brighton sideline, knowing that just an undisciplined personal foul puts you in this position.
There's the handoff.
Gonna get about one.
Yep. Timeout call by the Brighton Cardinals. Stops the clock with 2:10 left to play here in the fourth quarter. First timeout burned by the Cardinals. It'll be 2nd and 9 when we come back late in the fourth quarter. Munford with a 3-point lead over Brighton here on Tubetown.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Andy Manus, Chad Gatlin back here with you in Brighton. 2:10 left to play here in the fourth quarter. 17-14 is the score. Munford on top of Brighton. Cardinals had to call a timeout. Clock is their enemy here late in the fourth quarter.
Brighton needs to get a stop. They're going to have to burn some timeouts here. And it's not ideal because at this point they're going to be starting further back in the field than they want to. If they are able to get the ball back, they want the timeouts on offense. There's just no way they're going to get through a full set of downs without using them.
O'Neal on the keeper. Stop behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 now coming up. Westland a little bit slow to get up there for the Cardinals.
Timeout on the field. Timeout Brighton.
Now Brighton takes another timeout to stop the clock.
Yep, 2:06 left to play. You take a look at the Cardinals coming off the field here. 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10, you just bring the house. Andy, they've given you no reason to think they're going to throw the ball. I've noticed lately Brighton's corners are not respecting the receivers. They're lining up on them so they don't throw a quick out, but then they crash in as soon as the ball is snapped.
Yeah, I noticed that a while ago, and I mentioned it on that 3rd down run. You've got pretty much a wide-open wide receiver out here on the near sideline almost every time. Good 15-yard cushion. How quickly can you cover that 15 yards if you're the defensive back? 3rd and 10 coming up. 3-point ball game. 2:06 left to play in the fourth quarter. Brighton with 1 timeout remaining here in the ball game. Munford with 2.
Brought in the big defenders on this one. Big play here for Brighton.
5 down linemen. Here they come, bringing pressure. There's the handoff to White. White goes nowhere, but a flag comes out at the end of that run, and we'll see what it is.
It's in from the backfield, so it's most likely on the defense.
2:01 left to play here in the game. The Cardinals are celebrating here. Yeah, Cardinals are celebrating. They're going to decline this penalty here, and it'll be 4th down coming up.
Century and a quarter on the ground for Avik White now, 125 yards rushing.
And now they'll run clock, and the Cardinals look like they're going to hold on to that last timeout. 15 seconds on the play clock here. Munford still got their offense on the field. Might be just trying to give their punter a little more room to punt here.
And that would be a smart move. Take the 5-yard, delay a game penalty.
They're going to call
but they'll call a timeout. I would have taken the penalty. Just take the penalty. If you're going to punt, now I don't know that they're going to punt, but if they're going to punt, you're too far out for your kicker, so just take the penalty.
Save your timeout.
And give a little room to try to keep them from getting the touchback, pin them all the way, make them go the distance of the field with 1:37 left.
Yeah, you obviously do get the advantage of running the clock all the way out there and, running down as much game time as you can. But I agree with you. I think you want to give your punter a little more room. And like I said, you save a timeout that way. Each team with one timeout remaining, 1:37 to play. Tight ball game, 17-14. Munford getting ready to punt it away. From what we've seen out of Brighton's kicker, I would say they get it down to the 20, 25-yard line. We could, have a chance for a tie ball game here. Of course, the Cardinals are thinking touchdown.
They're in an offensive set here. Munford's going to run a play.
4th and 9. Looking to throw. Got a man downfield. Picked
Intercepted.
Off inside the 20-yard line. Now taken out to the 25. Now out to the 30. That's Tyler Burnett. And Burnett, a flag comes flying out at the end of that. We'll see what the call is here. That might go against Munford, and that would not be good if you're a Cougar.
About a 15-yard return, maybe an 18-yard return there on the interception for Burnett. And dead ball foul.
They call that on the Cardinals.
So that'll set them back. They'll have to mark off 15 yards after the play, shooting themselves in the foot here. That's another personal foul, and it's just got to be driving Coach David insane to see the lack of discipline from the team at a time when they need it the most.
Well, here's Johnson scrambling, looking to throw, and he's lit up in the backfield. Carson Roberson alongside his teammate Bryson Jernigan.
Oh, you can't allow that to happen. That's an 8-yard loss on the sack.
Jernigan with the speed from the outside edge, getting the initial hit. Here's Johnson looking to throw now on 2nd and long. Takes a shot downfield.
Nice.
What a throw, but he dropped
goodness.
the pass. Are you kidding me? What a throw by Nick Johnson, but Emmanuel Thurman not doing his quarterback any favors.
I mean,
you couldn't have laid that in there any more perfectly.
3 terrible drops from Cardinal receivers tonight. Just the bane of Nick Johnson's existence at this point.
And now you've got 3rd and 18 with 53 seconds remaining.
They'll go ahead and take their last time out. They got to dial up a good play here. But the thing is, Andy.
The Cougars actually called the timeout here.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is here for Brighton, you don't have to get it all. It's 3rd and 18, but you don't have to get it all. This is the last drive of the game. You get 4 downs. So look for something in the middle of the field if it's there. You want to try to go sideline, but they're probably going to cover up the sideline. I say just get something in the middle of the field, hurry up, run the same play, and try to get it again.
Oh, that's a heartbreaking drop for Emmanuel Thurman. Had a first down all day, was right there at the sideline to step out. Just what a throw by Nick Johnson on the run across his body and laid it where only his receiver could get to that football. That was a heck of a throw.
Of course, Roberson with the 8-yard in the backfield sack put him in this bad position.
Well, Jernigan back there as well. Bryson Jernigan with the initial hit on that sack. Williamson in the backfield, standing to the right of Nick Johnson. 3rd and 18 coming up. Looking to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Takes a shot downfield, and it was nearly intercepted. The second time tonight that we have seen Kelton Mason get his hands on a football and not be able to intercept it.
Overthrown from the get-go there. He has his man. His man's open. He just overthrows him.
Yep. You saw right there Tyler Burnett go up, but just too tall for him.
They had a man, and like I said, the defense was spread out. The middle of the field was open enough to get a throw in there, but it's just overthrown by Johnson in that situation. It's all or nothing here. This is the final play of the game for the Brighton Cardinals.
Just takes a shot downfield, got a receiver. It's
oh my goodness.
Burnett had the pass.
Oh my goodness.
And could not hold on to it. A strong hit by the defense jarred it loose. Got to give Burnett credit for at least putting himself on the line to try to bring that catch in. Another great throw by Johnson. Just falls right into the breadbasket. And right there, a perfectly timed hit.
I'm telling you, just perfect defense from Cerniglia, I think is who that was in the backfield.
Either way, with 43 seconds remaining, one play should get us out of here tonight. There's the knee. And they will let that timeout go.
That's an exciting finish, but not the one Brighton was looking for.
Not the one the Cardinals wanted here in front of their home crowd tonight. And there's about a 7-second difference here between the play clock and the game clock. So that will get us out of here tonight. So the Munford Cougars now officially in the books as 3-2 on the year. The Brighton Cardinals fall to a record of 1-4. Again, the final score tonight, 17-14 here in Brighton. Chad, this was a game that Brighton started off with a bang, but Munford came out, scored 17 unanswered points. Cardinals tried to rally there at the end of this one, but just could not get it done.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better ending to the game unless you're Mike David, the Brighton coach, of course. He doesn't want to end up 1-4 on the year. But here he is in his first year having a struggle. Great ending, though, for Munford. They're able to hold them, get the sack at the exact time that they needed to secure this win for them. The big man in this game for Munford, Jesse Savage.
Absolutely.
Interception return for a touchdown, follows it up with a field goal, takes them up 10-7 after they give up the big play on the second play of the game, and then lock down the Brighton defense until the very end when Brighton had a little bit of success passing, but just not enough.
Yeah, 17 unanswered points in that first half, but you know what can you say about Munford's defense after the way that they came out and handled Brighton in the second half?
Oh, I mean, look, Carson Roberson staying in the backfield throughout the game. I mean, he's the key on this defense. He starts it all. The other guys get in on the action. It's all his energy and the strength he brings off the line playing from that end position just does great things for this Munford defense, and it's going to take them to some wins further down the road. The big thing for Munford here is 1-1 in the district instead of 0-2, which is where Brighton is right now. Playoff hopes very much more alive for Munford than they are for Brighton.
They are, and even now at a 1-3 record, the Cardinals still got some things to work out underneath their first-year head coach.
Yeah, and, it's always tough to make that transition when you got a new coach coming in. He comes in from outside, so he's bringing in new schemes, new plays. You've got a guy who started some in his sophomore year, started all of last year under head coach Robin Jacobs. Now he has to switch to a system, and he's adjusting, but it all starts with the quarterback, and he's got to get comfortable with what they're running, and it doesn't look like that chemistry's quite there yet.
Well, 17-14 is the final score once again here in Brighton. The Munford Cougars coming away with a 3-point win tonight over their county rival, the Brighton Cardinals. Chad, again, great being over here in Tennessee with you this year. It's been a lot of fun. Of course, we're going to be back in Arkansas after next week. So.
Yeah, Ritter Tubetown. Of course, you can watch all of the games that we've had here in Tennessee or the games in Arkansas by downloading the Fire TV Stick app. Go to the Amazon App Store on your Fire TV, and you can download the Tubetown app and watch this game or any of the other ones that have been covered so far.
That's right. We will be off next Friday night, but we will be back with more high school football in Arkansas following the West Side Warriors as they take on, I believe, the Pocahontas Redskins in 2 weeks. So we'll be back bringing you that here on Tubetown. For our guys down in the truck and our camera crew, as well as Chad Gatlin, I'm Andy Maness saying so long. Everybody have a great weekend. God bless.